Okay, welcome to another episode of Way Into Bay, a season opener edition of Way Into Bay, a 2-1 victory over the Denver Summit edition of Way Into Bay. Cannot wait to get into it. I think this one, you can look at it from two different directions, right? So on one hand, you can say, okay, Denver Summit, expansion team, first game of the season, on the road, down to 10 players, and the player they lose, obviously, Janine Sonis, player you cannot afford to lose in the 27th minute. We'll get into that in a minute. But on the flip side, Bay looked pretty good. Outshot Denver 20-6. Shot on target advantage 6-2. Doubled them up on passes, almost 4.5 times as many touches in the opposition half for Bay FC. So pretty dominant, but like I said, you got to take it not quite with a grain of salt, but you got to take all the factors into consideration here. I did want to go to a little bit of sound. In this episode, we're going to hear from Emma Coates, Alex Pfeiffer, and Joelle Anderson, the two goal scorers. But first off, we're going to go to Emma Coates here, who gave a really honest initial reaction. This was just a few minutes after the final whistle. So it's pretty cool to see head coach Emma Coates giving kind of like a real natural reaction to getting her first big win in the NWSL.
Yeah, it feels good, doesn't it? Yeah, I'm like, we had a bit of luck with, I say luck, it was playing against 10 players for that period of time. We were obviously super pleased to get the win. And first and foremost, I think it's good to get off to a positive start. If I go back to the very start of pre-season, it looked a little bit clunky. And obviously now it's looking a little bit more fluid. I think we can still work a little bit on tightness on the ball and some of our timing of some of our movement. But what we're trying really hard to do is develop a style of play and an identity. And I think we're at the start of that journey. And I think what's really pleasing is some of the work we've done in pre-season. You can start, and I'd like to see that you guys can start to see some of the things we've been working on. And I'm never satisfied, and that can still be better, and there's still areas we absolutely need to improve. But in terms of a starting point, couldn't have been better for us.
Okay, I mostly agree with Coach there. We talked about the circumstance of getting that win, but a big win nonetheless. Great way to start the season, and a match that can't really be discussed without talking about 18-year-old Alex Pfeiffer. Obviously, a goal in this one, an assist in this one, just wrecked the entire match. I'm not ready yet to unleash my player comp for who I think Alex Pfeiffer could eventually grow into. I think it might be a little bit premature, but it's a heater. I'll just flat out say that right now. But I do want to go to some sound of head coach Emma Coates talking about her expectations for Pfeiffer coming into this one, and I think more generally, and then Alex Pfeiffer herself, the goal scorer, talking about just kind of what this goal meant to her.
Yeah, it's what I'm expecting, because it's what I see in training every day. After training every day, she gets the ball and she practices that cutting inside and shooting, and we're trying to add more variety to her play. And I've heard a lot about her in terms of she's young, and I'm like, you've got to judge her by her performances and her experiences, and I think she showed that today.
Yeah, I mean, today means a lot. I haven't scored in 2 years, so I'm just super grateful, just given the opportunity to come here to Bay and just to be who I am. So yeah, I'm loving it so far. Yeah, I saw her just kind of stepping away from me, and I think it's something that I've worked on a lot, is cutting in and finishing with my left foot and just having different tools, finish left, finish right, cut in, whatever that may be. So once I kind of saw her back off a little bit, I just took another touch and put in the back of the net.
And then, ooh, the iciness of put it in the back of the net by Pfeiffer there just sends chills down my spine for sure. And like I said, she was absolutely wrecking Denver's defense. But 27th minute, the next big moment in this match, the Janine Sonis foul on Pfeiffer, initially called a yellow card, upgraded to a red after a VAR review. And that absolutely flipped this one on its head. Let's go to some sound here. Emma Coates talking about the shift in game plan, and then Alex Pfeiffer and Joelle Anderson talking about maybe not so much of a shift in game plan.
I think when they went down to 10 players, it was not necessarily just around the out of possession work, but it's how we control the game when we have the ball. So, just our distances and little bits like that around how we prepare for transition before it's even happened.
Obviously, the game's going to give you different questions or pictures whenever. So I think we adjusted well. And obviously, when they went down to 10 men, I think it's just like us keeping what we were doing and keeping the focus and keeping the tempo high and moving the ball and just trying our best to finish the opportunities we created for ourselves.
Yeah, I think especially when a team goes down, you just don't want to take the foot off the gas. You just want to keep going. Obviously, I think we did a really good job of that, just keeping the pressure on and having that the whole entire game, because they did go down really early. So I think it was really important for us just to stay calm and composed and just to finish out the game really strong. Yeah.
The red card obviously pretty much changes everything, 27th minute. But keep in mind that at this point, Denver had already equalized. Melissa Kostler had equalized in the 22nd minute, I believe. So right now this is a 1-1 match, totally up in the air. And, I really wondered in the building, at that moment, Pfeiffer obviously gets a huge goal. Emotionally, it's got to be like a very high, right? Obviously to kick off the season that way. First 8 minutes of the match, you're on the score sheet already. And then to take a hard foul like that from Sonis, sometimes that could kind of get in your head a little bit, make you a little bit more tentative. But I thought the way Pfeiffer played, I think she just kind of cranked it up from there. And I think we're going to go to some sound here of Alex Pfeiffer talking about getting the assist for that second goal to Joelle Anderson, what you saw in that play.
Yeah, once I cut in, I kind of drew a bunch of people to me. Like you said, I saw Joelle at the top of the box. I think Claire was to the other side of her. So I knew if I laid it off that someone was going to finish it because everyone had crashed over to me and it was pretty open and there were some people and, Joelle had a great finish. So I think it was just like picking out the right person and knowing and trusting and believing in them that they're going to finish that.
The people at this club just really helped me and supported me when I moved back there to the best position. I've really owned it, really embraced it. And obviously it was nice to get a goal today. It was just like my midfielder days when I was up in the box. So it was really, really exciting for me, yeah.
At the press conference, head coach Emma Coates was asked about the midfield specifically. I believe it was Tamara Griffin. If not, whatever. Shout out to Tamara either way. I dug into some of the numbers. I mentioned up top Bay FC having completed almost twice as many passes as Denver in this one. Now, what I did was I looked at the pass completion percentage by unit. I was really curious initially about the defenders because maybe the passes that they missed looked a little ugly, maybe were a little dangerous, a little, had your boy a little nervous. But from a completion percentage standpoint, they were actually pretty solid. So Sydney Collins, Brooklyn Courtnall, Joelle Anderson, Maddie Moreau, as a group, completed 87.8% of their passes on the day. But when you look at the midfield, 87.9%, so a smidge higher for that trio in the midfield. Not something you usually see comparing pass completion percentages across those units. But head coach Emma Coates was asked about the midfield. I thought she had a lot of interesting stuff to say there.
Yeah, I thought it looked good. I thought they were fluid. I think they're for such a young players as well. They are really mature. They're brave to want to get on the ball. I think what's nice about the three of them is they're all comfortable on the ball, but they all have different strengths and different attributes. And I think when you put the three of them together, they complement each other from a technical point of view. And I'd say a lot of the work that we've been doing in pre-season is around how do we play through midfield more because of how strong they are, particularly on the ball. And I thought we're starting to see, the start of something really special between the three of them.
Let's go. Love to hear that. Oh my God. So fired up. That midfield is going to be monstrous. And you add Pfeiffer to that. We'll see if Kundanaj can get a little bit of game shape. Let me not say that. I don't know. Kundanaj got off to a little bit of a slow start, but I actually thought that her fitness maybe kind of picked up as the match wore on, which was a little bit weird to see, but, she's a little bit of a freak of nature. But yeah, I think offensively, the pieces a little bit disparate, but some very positive signals, positive early signals. As mentioned, I'll be back later this week with some reporting from Bay FC training. Very excited about that. And to get us out of here, we're going to get some final thoughts from Bay FC head coach Emma Coates, as well as Joelle Anderson on the team's big win.
I think it's huge. I think it means a lot for the club. You could see that. It means a lot for the players, the staff, the fans, everyone. And I think, we've been building the way that we want to play and the way we want to approach things. And you could see the confidence growing over pre-season. And we had some good results in pre-season, and as did they. And today was the real test around could we now deliver that style under pressure in front of people. And I think, did we do it consistently across 90 minutes? Probably not. Did we give it a right good go and see some of the style? Absolutely. And as a starting point, it's a really good place to be.
Yeah, I think today was just honestly just a small glimpse of what we're capable of. I think this team is so talented. We have so many good assets all around the field. And so I think you just saw a little bit of a glimpse of what we're capable of. I'm really excited for this season. I'm really excited for the group that we have in there. We all care about each other so much. We're all willing to go to battle for each other. So yeah, I'm just really excited. I think it was just a tiny little glimpse of what we're capable of.
Congratulations on the the debut again. I mean, how are you thinking about the next 5 games? Obviously,
I'm not yet. I'm going to go home and have a nice glass of wine, if I'm honest. And then tomorrow I might think about it.